you put together always. You guys just do it to the hilt. I am very impressed with how many you have involved in this one.
Thank
Way to
you.
go.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your love. So before you start the session, I would like to introduce to the audience. So yes, welcome on stage, Inger Andress. Inger Andress is a global leadership advisor and best-selling co-author of Global Conscious Entrepreneurs. She leverages our understanding of metaphysical dimensions to offer insights into 5D universal leadership. Her vision is to elevate the consciousness of 300 million people to foster global restoration and sustainability. Her clients include professional athletes, business entrepreneurs, Grammy nominated musicians, government officials, and international leaders. Ingo has also helped establish nonprofits and a restorative justice program for youth. Her multifaceted work combines advising high performers, entrepreneurship, quantum leadership, social activism, music, and quantum arts. Known for her passion for creating enlightened individuals, Inger follows the path Spirit shows her, finding bliss in her journey. That was really great introduction. Yes, you can occupy the stage and good luck.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful. It's a pleasure to be back again. And today's topic is beauty in chaos. And this is where I know a lot of us are experiencing across the globe different forms of conflict and chaos. And it is very common right now, sad to say, that a lot of that is going on. And so I just really wanted to change things up a little bit here to really help us understand where our attention goes truly. And you've heard this, I'm sure you've heard this so many times, but it is a truth. Where our attention goes, energy flows. Something that might seem so obvious, but in actuality, is it really given the forethought throughout our workday to consider, especially when chaos is picking up within your work? So it's an important discipline for us as leaders, and actually for all humanity to do, especially with all the difficulties going on. Focusing on beauty. Some of you may have heard even the natural formula for beauty is called the Fibonacci sequence, or otherwise known as the golden ratio in nature. There's a truth, there's a simplicity, a purity. I believe that when feeling overwhelmed, when we take the time to gain wisdom and insight in a situation that is feeling like it's coming over you, and you're feeling somewhat not only stressed, but almost trapped in it, it's important to take a break, to allow yourself to think about and change your focus and attention, to open up that mind space and go, what is something that is beautiful today that is really I can focus on at this time, to just give myself a break and step away from the overwhelm and the initial reaction of feeling that chaos. And so allowing yourself to hear that intuition that comes through when you actually take the time to step away and focus on something that is aligned and beautiful. The security system for currency or paper money across the globe, really, in order to train to really see what is counterfeit and what money is actually real. I heard this, and this is very interesting to me, because what they do is they have the inspector really learn the true money currency. They study that inside and out. They don't study any of the false things that are out there, or whatever is coming through that is out there. They put their attention on what is actually um, the true currency, so that they can see clearly the flaws when they pop up in other currency. And I think that's part of us really understanding how to focus on things that are aligned, things that bring beauty, things that have um, truth to them, that are of excellence, of intelligence. That kind of focus on our energy and putting it towards things like that allows us to see situations much more clearly with how and guidance of what to do next and how to handle it without allowing the overwhelm to happen, which happens so easily. And I have definitely had enough opportunities to exercise this in my own life and understand how it can feel crazy at times. So I really want us to dive into that. And so part of being a quantum leadership advisor is really understanding this whole metaphysical quantum particle world. And as leaders of organizations and being involved in different capacities and roles, really understanding how collaboration becomes the cornerstone of success. And so by dismantling some of these traditional silos, fostering cross-functional partnerships, we create an environment where the unique strengths of each company, regardless of gender, race, or background, can contribute to a collective success. And I think that's the place that we need to start shifting the paradigm of what leadership looks like. So let's just kind of, why quantum physics? It really is an important part of understanding that it tells us in science that everything is actually energy and that we are all vibrating at different frequencies. So in quantum cosmology, it says that your thoughts can change the vibrations of your energetic fields and magnetically attract other similar frequencies to vibrate to you. So no one else can think for you, but when you make time to focus and enter the consciousness and connect with a higher level of universal mind, you are able to tap into that present moment more clearly and to have a creative flow of imagination of how you can handle, and then whatever you actually put your energy towards again, you then can create those energetic fields and draw and bring out whatever you imagine. So allowing yourself um, to just enter into that, like, that's an incredible concept, right? Of going, wow. So it's just a matter of whether or not I take the time to really pay attention to what I'm thinking about, how I'm going about things. Sometimes people call this mindfulness as well. There can be all sorts of names, or allowing yourself to meditate and really tap into that place. Um, so how do you connect with that sacred intuition? Um, and that quantum consciousness of being able to gain that intuitive wisdom. So again, similar to feng shui, I usually try to break this down into clearer ideas. So some of you may be familiar with feng shui. It is another type of energy clearing within usually a home or your workspace or whatever. And when the first things that you do with feng shui is you try to really keep clutter away and you clear out old things that no longer serving you and all that. And so part of the physicality of that is that you're opening space, right, for universal life force energy to flow. And that brings more harmony, that brings more intuitive sense of ideas and how to problem solve, how to come up with solutions. And so one of those things of being able to clear the space in your mind is very similar in the energetic field. And so if our mind is all cluttered with all sorts of things that have come about throughout the morning or the day or from our emails, um, being able to stop and clear the mind is part of this, really allowing beauty, taking time to clear the space and clutter of not only your environment, but of your mind, to then be able to energetically connect with your essence that opens up you to universal life force energy to flow through your mind and body harmoniously. And then that truly, it's amazing. But the wisdom that can come and the joy of decluttering that space in your head allows the energies to flow. And you're not swimming upstream so much, and you're not feeling like life is just going against you and that it's too hard. You really allow what was meant to support you, that's around you, to naturally help give you guidance. So maybe that looks like, what does that look like for you to clear the mind? Maybe it's you going out and walking in nature somewhere, or just going on a walk, right? Doing breath work, creative artwork, or yoga, or even sometimes, cooking, or um, qigong. There's all sorts of meditative kind of prayer zones that you can get your creative space to just open up. And so, whatever that looks like for you, I'm going to call it a wisdom practice. So, whatever your wisdom practice is, allowing yourself to free that up so that then you can choose and focus your mind on that which is freeing up the space to allow, whether it's focusing on the meditation or on beauty, that then gives you more intuitive connection with your higher consciousness. So there's truly no limit scientifically, energetically, to what we can do when we connect with our essence and transmute our thoughts to higher understanding that helps us then bring your organization or your business through some very challenging, chaotic times. And that's really key. And to be sustainable as whatever that you're doing and the projects that you're working on, to keep it sustainable, to keep it doable, to have people, they'll be watching how you do that, and have your energy field be more vibrant, that people want to be around you. They want to actually engage and stick with the program or project or company or organization. So really stepping into that, first and foremost, we can't fake it, right? It is definitely a commitment to a practice that we do within ourselves on a daily basis, right? It's not something that we can fake, because it is not, if we don't have the opportunities to know how to clear our mind and allow that higher consciousness to come in, how are we actually going to handle when times get tough? So, that's another type of leadership that I talk about, is called VUCA leadership, and it is, V stands for volatility, U uncertainty, C complexity, and A ambiguity. So that is the paradigm shift that we need to step into and understanding as we move towards um, newer concepts, new ways, AI being introduced into how we go about things in our work fields, new types of jobs, old jobs dying off because of AI. And so, how do we adapt? How do we flow in the river of life? How do we not get too caught up and upset because we have to shift and we have to transition? All that is part of kind of letting go and letting the process of opening up your mind space to allow those wonderful thoughts to come in and guide you. So, again, V standing for volatility, reminds us that change is not just constant, but it can be rapid and unpredictable. Not only is it constant, but it's sometimes like really fast. And so our influence as leaders, how do we actually able to be agile, to adapt swiftly, to evolve with the landscape, to allow people to feel that there's still a rhythm to what we're doing, and not get too panicky or freak out when that change happens so quickly, but to see it as an opportunity for innovation and growth. All those things are really important for handling volatility. Uncertainty, of course, lots of uncertainty that comes with change, right? We are not, as humanity, usually change and uncertainty causes fear and panic. And so, how do we, as within our own beings, right, resist that sometimes just natural wanting to freak out? And so, it's really important that we, as influencers for this next generation, as quantum leaders, truly understand how to sit in those liminal spaces of uncertainty and be okay with it and know that there's a time and place for things. So our influence becomes sometimes a compass, even providing direction even in the face of the unknown. And then C stands for complexity. So, then sometimes these things can get pretty intricate and interplay with different factors that are changing and the global landscape. And so how do we then unravel those complexities and find simplicity in the chaos, which again gives people more of a peaceful way of approaching mindfully, being able to open up that space, taking a moment, doing our breath work, doing whatever it is that we need to come back in and open up to the flow of what we're being guided to, and trust that we will be shown. The last letter A stands for, in VUCA leadership, is ambiguity. So that acknowledges a lack of clear answers in certain situations. And sometimes it's not so clear, but we still need to cultivate a resilience that we can handle this, that we've done things that are hard before, and a mindset that thrives in ambiguity becomes the canvas in which our influence paints innovative solutions, right? And allows others to participate. We want to bring out the strengths in others and go, hey, I think let's hear what your thoughts are on this. What do you think? And whatever that is, but allowing that teamwork to happen can really help when there seems to be a sense of even solutions are changing quickly. And so allowing ourselves to have that mindset that knows we can do hard things is so important. Um, I've heard that this next generation coming up really uh, sometimes panics with the more difficult things and really doubts whether or not they can do it because of various reasons of not being able to get out and experience life as much, and so much is being done behind the computer screen or behind the smartphone. um, the lack of confidence to handle situations really is kind of that younger generation's challenge. And so we're here as those who have done some difficult things to be able to help them understand they can do this. It's so doable. So that's important. So as we move forward to the challenges of the future and we understand and embrace this VUCA leadership, really allowing ourselves to have the poise, resilience, and wisdom to hear the subtleties of the situation that will need some adaptability and understanding. And especially when we're working again with AI, artificial intelligence, and other dimensions, it's part of us being tapped in to something that we're already doing, a state of flow, our 5D state of consciousness that allows us to not freak out and to live by example, that it will come. We'll figure this out. And allowing that flow by opening up spaces in our mind, opening up spaces where you work, allowing there to be that flow state that happens of energy allowed to the life force chi energy to flow. So once again, just to summarize this up, where your attention goes, energy flows. And something that might be so obvious to us actually is really important that we take the time and forethought in our busy workday and go, okay, I'm stressing out right now. I feel like I'm getting trapped. I not knowing how I'm going to work this out is a time for us to focus on something beautiful, something, or letting yourself do some breath work, opening up your mind, releasing freeing your mind from some of it so that you can just allow yourself to be present in that moment. And then allowing those intuitive parts of your essence to come through. Um, so it's very important, again, for us to have that time, not only at work, but for us in our own privacy of where we live, that we take that time and we allow ourselves to get renewed and refreshed by having that time. Focusing on beauty may have some sort of, the idea that there can be beauty in song, there can be beauty in poetry, in something that you read, in um, actual visual beauty. There can be color therapy. There can be things that lift your spirits that you know are important for you to have around so that you can tap into it. Only you know what that is and what appeals to you. So I just challenge us all to allow ourselves to prepare ahead of time in our own times of meditation and thoughtfulness, to have our own wisdom practice, to really identify what can free our minds so that when we do find ourselves in those challenging VUCA leadership positions, that we already have a tool set that we have fine-tuned to be able to have that connection to our intuitive guidance and really tap into the collective so that we can be doing things for the well-being of all and allowing that to be the true success of this next generation of leadership. So I look forward to hearing if anybody has any questions, but that's what I'd like to offer today. Thank you again for this opportunity, and would love to connect with any of you that would love to discuss this further.
Hi, Inger. How are you? Thank you.
Hello.
That wonderful speech. So people are inspired by your speech, and I think you have seen the reactions here. So the questions, we got many questions from all of around the world. The question is, what motivated you to help establish nonprofits, and what are some notable achievements from these organizations?
Uh, I had an out of body experience when I was 7 years old that brought me to a level of incredible love and um, felt incredible divine love, let's just say. And it was a very powerful point in my life because I came up in a home that did not have a lot of love in it. And so that was an important part of me shifting to understand that there can be ways that people can actually experience it. That is truly what's most important. And so with that, truly tapping into that love, divine love that I felt, um, it was really important for me to be open to what divine love wanted me to put my energy towards in helping others. So one of the bigger nonprofits, or the amount of time that I've put into, I've helped health care nonprofits trying to get money to fill in the gaps for different solutions for healthcare. But the one of the ones that most recently that I'm working on that I have gotten recognition and some awards is with a restorative justice program practice that really uh, helps with actual court and criminal cases where we have um, referrals come to us from the court system, and we work with these cases and we actually help people, victim and offender, person who's harmed, the one who has been harmed, really get the things that they need in their life first and foremost, and then if they are willing, to meet face to face and to actually work through the conflict and create a safe space for them to have that opportunity to work on meaningful reparations, and have seen some amazing miracles. I get chills up, my spine right now, even as I talk about it, because there's so much misunderstanding. And when other perspectives are brought in, it really helps clear the path and realizations, that then people come together and are much more at ease with one another and not fearful, and feel that the reparation has been very meaningful and healing for them. So that's, hopefully that answers your question, but that is a volunteer work that I do.
Yes, Inger, it beautifully answered the question. Thank you so much for explaining. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Inger Andress. She has been with us from, I think, from past 1.5 year. Thank you so much, Inger, for all the
Thank you.
trust you have in us, and the way you come and support for every event. We wish to see you directly in Miami in October. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a powerful session by Inger Andress on Global Virtual Summit 2024 Day 2. Stay tuned. We have so much of exciting speakers lineup coming up as well. Thank you so much, Inger. Inger, have a great
Thank
day.
you.
All
You
the
too,
best.
Melinda. Many blessings. Bye-bye.